Hey everybody, DBSTCG Central here, coming at you with another deck list, deck profile. Today we're gonna do Gotenks, Extravagant Assault, super good leader. So let me tell you what he does. On his unawakened side, he's got an auto. When this card attacks, you draw one card, and then he's got an alternate awaken, as well as he can awaken at 4 energy. So when this guy, when his life is at 4 or less, you can awaken, or if you have a green Unison card with specified 2 in play. So we're gonna abuse this a little bit to make him awaken and get his whole crazy deck going and attacking and getting rid of barrier stuff. He's a really good leader. I love this guy. I used to play him before green kind of started lacking, but now that rush is gone and like there was some erratas and there was some bans on the ban list, like green, it's coming back. Like it can handle a lot more than it used to be able to. It just so good. Like I love green. It's one of my favorite colors. And if you can make a strong enough deck, green can compete just like all the other colors. It's insane. So also, you add cards from your life till you have 6 left, and then you flip them over. So this guy, he is a 15k permanent. When your opponent's leader card can attack your battle cards, which is pretty good. Helps a little bit of defense, like if they need to get rid of some pesky stuff and they can't with their leader, so they'll have to put another battle card on the battlefield and try to do it that way or with a unison or something. So it kind of helps out. And then when this card attacks, you draw one card. Active main, once per turn, you could pay 1 green and choose one. You could choose one of these abilities. Choose one of your opponent's unison cards and remove a marker from it, or you may choose 1 green card in your hand and discard it. If you do, play 2 ghost tokens in rest mode. So we'll get to that. Ghost tokens have 1500 power. 15,000 power. So that's the leader. Really, really strong. And we'll start with the main package. So we'll start with the unisons. How about that? That's easy enough. So I run about 6 unisons just for consistency. A lot of people run 4 because there's some searchers and stuff like that. But I'm really into just making sure I awaken on that turn 2. So the ones that aren't obvious for the deck are the SS3 Vegito Peerless Warrior. So it's got an auto once per turn. When you activate a union skill, you could draw 1 card, which there is a lot of union in this. This is kind of meant for the deck, this unison here. So it's got a +2 active main. Choose all your mono green battle cards, and they get revenge until the start of your next turn. So if you have any blockers out, they'll have revenge. If you don't know what revenge means, it's almost like death touch in Magic. If they attack and you block, or they attack one of your creatures that has revenge or anything like that, they'll die if they touch it, basically. So it's really good to KO stuff. If you have blockers out, it helps a lot too. I'll show you a few combos we have. And then it's got a -7 here that gets played fairly a decent amount, so it actually is relevant. Its -7 is active main. If your leader is mono green, look at your opponent's life. You could place 1 card from among them into their drop area, and then your opponent shuffles their life. Choose 3 cards from their hand, and you discard them. So it's really, really good. I mean, you can just plug their last life from them if you have to, or you could choose, if they have 2 life, you could choose one of them and make sure they don't get that card that from their life to their hand by discarding it. It's really good. It's a good finisher, definitely. Just a way to finish them off. So we run 4 of those. And for consistency, I run 2 of these too. It's just really good getting a combo out of the combo area. So its auto is when your opponent combos, you may place up to one of their combo cards into their drop area once per turn. So that's a really good ability. It stops a rival sometimes and some other things that are really good. If they combo too high, you can just get rid of their combo to add a little more defense or even some offense too. So its +1 is you may choose one of your green battle cards with an energy cost of 1 and KO it. If you do, your opponent chooses 1 card in their hand, they discard it. Also, it's got a -3 where this card gets +5,000 power and triple attack. So it'll turn into a 20k triple attack. So it'll be able to attack 3 times. So that can help too sometimes if you need to go for game and put a little more pressure on. It's really good too. But we do some stuff with the +1 to help KO some more stuff. I'll show you what we do here. We have a lot of 1-drops that we can use. Starting with our searcher. So Gokul, the legendary fusion warrior. So auto, when this card is played, add up to 1 green card with energy cost 6 or less and union fusion skill from your deck to your hand. I'll show you what it gets. It's part of this combo, and I'll show you towards the end. And then you can shuffle your deck if you look through it. So, and then it's got an active main for 1 green. You could place this card in its owner's drop area. Then you could choose 1 card in your hand with Union Fusion skill and reveal it. And for each character name required for the revealed cards union, so whatever cards that you need to reveal for the union skill, add up to 1 of the matching character names and energy costs between 3 and 7 from your deck to your hand. Then you can shuffle your deck. So it's basically getting your Trunks and your Gotens. I'll show you exactly which ones it is. And also, like I said, when you play it, it gets a 6-drop with a Union Fusion skill, which I'll show you in a moment. More 1-drops, just to help our Bardock. So if our Bardock is out and these guys are out, you can just KO one of them, and then your opponent has to discard a card. So it's a little bit of hand destruction. It helps a little bit. So we always have our Unisons out turn 2, and we always kind of want a blocker out. So either this guy, if they want him to discard a card when he comes out, or this guy here. So this guy is really good too. Like I said, you could choose all of your battle cards and they get revenge, and this guy is a blocker. I only run 2 because it has unique, so it gets played for free if you have a Unison card with specified cost of 2 in play. So if this guy's out, or this guy's out, which they always will be turn 2 most of the time, you'll just be able to play this for free and have a little added defense, and then you can give it revenge. So if they do attack, you can just block and then kill whatever they're attacking with, if it doesn't have barrier. That's just a little tech I run. Super combos. Oh, let's keep going with the package, actually. So we run 4 Trunks, Bonds of Friendship. So this card's really, really good. I would say it's one of the main cards in the engine. So for 1 green, if your leader card is a green Gotenks, which it is, and you discard this card from your hand, play or add to your hand up to 1 green Sun Goten card with energy cost 3 from your deck, and shuffle your deck. Auto, when this card is discarded from your hand by a union skill, look at the top 7 cards at the top of your deck and add up to 1 green Unison card with specified cost of 2. Add them to your hand and then shuffle your deck. So acts as another searcher, but also it is Union Fusion fodder because this is a Trunks Youth. So we run 3 of these, and this one gets, like it's set on the first ability for paying 1. You can get any Sun Goten that is 3 or less. So we run 4 of these, and these actually count as Trunks and Gotens. They're really strong. So Goten and Trunks, Faultless Youth. So with this combo, with this extra card that comes in this deck that works with it very well, it literally, this was all you're going to need for Trunks and Gotens. I run 1 more Goten I'll show you right after this, but it's all you're really going to need for your Union fodder because it just reoccurs. You can take it back from your drop area and do all sorts of stuff. Let me show you what this one does. So active main, if your leader card is a green Gotenks, which it is, you can place 1 card from your life into your drop area, play this card from your hand. So you pay 1 energy, you sack a life, and you can play this for 1. It's a 15k attacker. Active main, if your leader is a green Gotenks, which it is, and you return this card to its owner's hand, look at the top 5 cards at the top of your deck and choose 1 green Gotenks and or 1 green Unison card with specified 2 from among them to your hand, then shuffle your deck. So huge. More Unison searchers, and this counts as a Trunks Youth and a Goten. So it's really, really big. And this is another, I run a 1-0. This is a promo. So active main, if your leader is a green Gotenks, which it is, and you add this card from your drop area to your hand. So you pay 1 energy and you can bring this to your hand if you need a Gotenks to finish your fusion, and I'll show you what everything fuses into in a moment. So this is just a little extra tech that a lot of people run. It always reoccurs. You could always use it if you need a Goten. It's really good. So when this card is KO'd, you can add up to 1 green Trunks Youth from your when this card is KO'd, add up to 1 green Trunks Youth card and up to 1 green Gotenks card from your drop area to your hand. So if this gets KO'd, you can literally just bring another Goten, and another Trunk. So either one of these to your hand. You can bring two of these or one of these and one of these to your hand. So it's good because you want them in your hand, obviously, so that you can do the Union Fusion, which I'll show you which we Union Fusion into. So the strongest one, there's so many Gotenks you can fuse into, but everybody runs this in the combo. It's just super strong. Gotenks, the Grim Reaper of Justice. So it's got deflect, so it's coming into play. Dual attack, it's Union Fusion for 2. So you pay 2 energy and you discard a Trunks and a Goten from your hand. And if your leader card is a green Gotenks card, which it is, when this card is played, draw 2 cards, then choose up to one of your opponent's battle cards and KO it. When this card is removed from your battle area by an opponent's skill or KO'd, add up to 1 Sun Goten and up to 1 Trunks from your drop area to your hand. So he gets killed, then you get the Trunks and the Gotens back to your hand. He comes into play. He's a dual attack, 25k, and he KOs something when he comes into battle. So he's really, really strong. Like I said, he deflects, so he's going to KO something when he comes in without barrier. So we'll put this guy down here. So it doesn't get rid of barrier, but like I said, every good pro deck should have a way to deal with barrier, board wipes. Like you want to be able to get rid of barrier things. You want to be able to board wipe things that are swarming the board. And spot removal is really important, which is really good. This deck has all of it. So the next card we play this is our barrier removal. SS3 Gotenks All Out Assault. So it's got deflect, so it's coming down. It's got double strike, and it's got an X evolve where you evolve this onto a Gotenks with energy cost 3 or 6. So you play this guy, you swing once, you untap, and then you need to get something off the board with barrier. You could play this for 2 right on top of it. This turn, that same turn, or the next turn, depending on what you want to do. And then it will have an auto once it comes into play. If your leader card is a green, which when this card is played, you could choose up to one of your opponent's unison cards, remove 2 markers from it, and then you can choose up to one of your opponent's battle cards, ignoring barrier, and KO it. So not only is it KOing something with barrier, but it's also getting rid of Unison's 2 markers. So that is really strong. It also has a Union Fusion for 3 energy. You could draw 1 card, then you could discard a Sun Goten and a Trunks Youth from your hand to play this alternately for 3 energy. But you most of the time you're going to play it on top of this for 2. Unless you're in a pickle and you don't have this in your hand and you want to go for game and all sorts of stuff. All right, so we'll get into our defensive package for now. So we run super combos. We run Defending Father Paragus, really, really good. It's like the first good super combo. All the new really good super combos kind of emulated this. But so what this one does is when you combo with this card, if your leader card is green and your life is at 4 or less, you can draw 2 cards and then you can choose 1 card in your hand and send it to your warp. So you're drawing the cards first, and then you're warping the cards. So a lot of the other ones, you're putting it at the bottom of the deck first, and then you're drawing. This is like the old green version of the new one. But this one was the first that came out with the draw 2 and then get rid of 1. So it's really, really good. And it's Paragus, so that's cool. So we go to 6 life. Sometimes to get these super combos live, we'll be stuck at 5. So if we need to take our last life so we can create a blocker, these are really good. So you take a life. If you're at 5 or less, you negate the attack, and then you play a token blocker, which is a homicidal clone, which I believe is only 5 or less. So meta tokens, I can't even see how much it is. 0 combo cost. Oh, so it's only got 5,000 power, but it's just a blocker, so it's not a big deal. So once you play it, it'll just dodge another attack. So it pretty much it can handle 2 attacks, negate 2 attacks for the most part. So that's just a little defensive option. A free negate, I love them. Zarbon Cosmic Elite. This is really good. This deck makes you discard a lot of cards sometimes. I'll show you some of the other cards we use that discard cards. But you'll need fodder to discard. And this is really good tech because you discard it. Then you can play it from your drop area. And then you can give it revenge. So it's got revenge. And also if this dies by opponent's skill or it blocks, they discard a card. So you'll KO something, they'll discard a card, and then this will die. And then you can bring it back from your graveyard anytime you need a blocker. So it's really, really good, especially in this deck. It's kind of like a weird little combo people do that kind of puts them in a weird position. So speaking of cards that you gotta that make you discard, the leader itself does it, but also uh, Dormant Potential Unleashed. It's just a floodgate. If you have a Unison out, which you always do because of these guys here and all the ways you can get them back into your hand and stuff, like you always want to have a Unison out. Turn 2. So this is free if you have a Unison with 2 or more markers on it. So they attack, you play this. It doesn't negate the first attack, but you have all these blockers to block with. And then after that, they can only attack one more time for the turn. So it stops if they're swarming the board or anything crazy like that. And then you have blockers to handle the rest. So it's really good in this deck, especially. I'll put those over there. So another floodgated play is the Majin Buu Unadulterated Malice. It's basically Green's Topo. So basically you negate the attack and you do the ability, and then you discard a card. So you negate, you pay 2, you negate, and they can't attack with battle cards unless they discard 2 cards from their hand every time they attack. But you have to discard 1 card when you play this card for that effect to pop off. So really good. It's another floodgate. Dormant Potential, they could potentially get off another like attack or 2, but with this, every time they attack, they have to discard 2 cards. And you're already kind of like a hand control deck. I'll show you some of the hand control elements, just like the Bardock KOing a 1-drop, and then the Zarbon, when it blocks, it discards, and then other stuff I'll show you in a moment. It's really good. It just helps because their hand's going to be a little bit smaller than usual, so they don't want to discard with this. Because we run Unisons, we run our free counterplays. Frieza Charismatic Villain. I run 4 because you always have the Unisons out. So basically, if they play something, you can play this card, and when it comes into play, it'll ignore deflect, and it'll kill it if it doesn't have barrier. But if it has barrier, it's not affected. Really, really good. It could stop a lot of stuff from happening or being attacked on, so it's really good defensively. Also, you know, it's Frieza. I really love Frieza. Look at him. All right, so cards we discard too. These are just 3. We discard these. Making them discard 2 cards for 2 energy sometimes comes up a lot, and then it helps you when you're trying to be aggressive and they can't defend. So this is a really good tech. Like I said, you got to discard a card with this. Your leader discards a card. Dormant Potential discards a card. So just to have cards to discard in this deck that you can use in your drop area is really beneficial, and it actually just, makes the deck really work. What's the word? Nicely. It's very smooth. So everything has a purpose pretty much and a place to be. And for secret rare, I just wanted a little more barrier removal. And then end game, if I needed a little push, I like playing this for 5. Dual attack, triple strike, 40k. If I play it for 5, or I could combo with it for 1, and then I can, after the combo step is over, I can put this in my drop, and I can KO any battle card with barrier. So it's really good. All right, so that's the deck. This leader is super good. Like I said, when Rush was prominent, this is more of a mid-range deck. It's a little control-y, but when Rush was doing its thing, this didn't have much of a chance against anything. But since the erratas and all the bans and everything like that, and how they slowed down the game, this is actually coming up really fast. I'm seeing it in tournaments, and I'm seeing a lot of people testing green out again. And this is actually one of the viable ones. Like, there's deflect, so you don't have to worry about too much when stuff's coming in. There's hand control, there's board removal, there's barrier removal, there's board wipes. It's got it all, and it's mid-range, and floodgates also. So, like, if you have to play the long game, you're not going to have a problem. It's a really strong deck and a really cool leader, and who doesn't love Gotenks? Awesome guy. Love him. Also, you can use his -2 and you start flooding the board with ghost tokens too, which I do a lot too. So there's like a lot of stuff that this deck is capable of. You can start flooding the board, getting aggressive if you need to. You can start doing that. Or you could play lean back. You can hand control them. You could go aggressive. It's great. I love it. I love pivot decks. But yeah, so that's the deck profile. I appreciate you guys joining me again. And so you can find me on all social media sites. So I'm on Facebook. I'm on Instagram. You can find me on eBay, on my eBay store, if you need to find any cards that you're looking for. I have a lot of collectibles, a lot of pre-releases. I have some pre-built decks for starters. I have all sorts of stuff going on there, so feel free to take a look. I'll put the link in the bio below. But thanks, guys. I love doing these deck profiles. I got another one coming at you. My internet's kind of a little saucy right now, so they're coming at. I'm putting them out a little slower than usual, but by Saturday, I'll be back on schedule, kicking butt. So, guys, thanks for joining me, and subscribe if you haven't. Like, comment, and share. And I'm DBS TCG Central. Thanks.